Welcome to Making My House a Home. This is Juju.
Hi.
I'm Cece. And we're going to do something, we're going to do what's called Redding Up. We've done one before, and this time's no different. I have company coming in from Alaska. Going to stay here a couple of days. I just want to red up the place so it looks better for when my cousin Eileen gets here. And you've probably heard me reference my cousin Eileen when I say hi to her. She watches every video. So, hey, Eileen.
Hi.
You'll be home by the time you see this.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Fort Pitt. We're going to get busy and run the camera.
Join us.
Well, good morning, everybody. So you're probably expecting the rest of the Redding Up video to show up right here. So was I. When I went to do the editing on the video and I added all the clips in, I noticed, gosh, that didn't record. Why didn't that record? Well, dummy, if you don't push the record button, the camera doesn't run. So I don't have the end of the Red Up video for you, but I do have some clips of things that I did take, just little crappy things that I did around the house that I just ran the video in case I ever needed it. And hey, I needed it. So here you go with the rest. So over the weekend I was busy. I did some chicken broth. And let me show you my chicken broth. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let me put it up to the light. It looks good enough to drink right now without having to put other ingredients in to make soup or chicken and dumplings or chicken a la king, anything you need chicken broth with. And what I also did was I made pint size. Oh, look how golden that is. I made pint size because I don't want to open a whole quart if I only need a cup of broth or 2 cups of broth. So that's why I did it that way. And today I stopped at the butcher's and I got meat bones so I can make the beef broth because I want to be ready for the year with all my broths done. And let me show you everything I got. That's a lot of broth. And they all sealed. So I'm ready with chicken for the entire year. And next is going to be broth. And I'm going to cook it in this thing. And all I did was I got 3 whole chickens, cut probably 4 or 5 onions in half, put them in, and then carrots, salt, pepper, and garlic salt. And that's all I did. And then I simmered it way down on low, like 180 overnight. Once I cooked the chicken in the water, that took 3 hours. And then the chicken was done. Took out the chicken, took it off the bones, kept the chicken, put it in the freezer, and then I put the chicken bones back into the broth, and that's what I simmered all night long. Next day when I got up, I put it down a little lower, got my jars ready, and started canning. And it took me like 2 hours, but you know what I know? I know that the salt I have in mine is Redmond's real salt. I know that the pepper I have in mine is good cracked pepper. I know that my garlic is good. My carrots are organic. My onions are organic. So that's a nice organic product to start anything with. You got to try it. You have questions? Just drop me a line. So I'm getting ready to plant an inside herb garden. I'll have a video for you on that. But what we started to do was we started to put this window cling film downstairs here. And there's going to be one up here. And then we'll take this down and put them in here too. Now you've already seen this done, so I don't need to do a video. But I want to step back and show you the difference. It looks better in the left window than it does on the right. And that's where we're at with that project. Hi. So here we are. We're at Juju's house right now because we didn't finish the last video.
We did not.
Yeah, we did not.
Well, and it is that we are just getting older and
tired.
Yeah, we had a long day that day, and we just didn't get it finished.
Yeah.
So now we're at my house.
Yeah, and I had found out that day that I have another heart problem situation coming up, so it was weighing heavy on me, and I was having trouble breathing, and this is why I'm having trouble breathing, I'm finding out. So we're going to be working with that, but we're trying to get the podcast ready. I did the software, and we're getting really close. So we thought we'd finish that video by adding on to the end of it.
Yes.
So what we have here is an example of Juju's list. And what she does, every evening she sits down and evaluates, what do I have to do tomorrow?
Right. Or when I get up first thing in the morning, if I haven't done this, Then I start with my list, and I literally go in my head from room to room to room and say, okay, in this room I got to do this today. With this room I got to do that. And that's how I get my list of jobs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get them done every day? No. But if I've accomplished something on that list, I'm pleased with myself. And what doesn't get done today goes on tomorrow's list.
And like yesterday, she decided that was on her list was reorganizing all her canned goods.
Yes, because they were a mess. And when I go find something, well, it wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I just said, Self, straighten this out.
Yep.
So I did.
And she did. And let me show you what she did. Anytime you're ready.
Okay, so this is my shelving unit that's in my kitchen. And all my sugars on the top. Icing, fruit, pumpkin, milk, syrup, and honey. This is extra. And I have to keep it somewhere, so this is where it is. That's my top shelf.
Like things together.
Yes. My next shelf is more or less vegetables. So I have sauerkraut, red beets, onions, diced potatoes, black beans, chilies, and baked beans. Everything is now together. That's the best I can do with what I have. Down here are my gravies. This is my jelly, and I have more jelly back there. And all my salad dressings. We eat a lot of salad here, so we get through a ton of dressings. And the next shelf is corn, my relish, and we do a lot of coleslaw, and mushrooms, and more pickles, and all my oils. And down here are all my tomatoes things, whether it's crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, with the tomatoes and more pickles because they won't fit up here, and all my sauces. So everything on this shelving unit is so much easier for me to find. And I think that it was aliens that came at night and screwed it all up.
Is that what it was? Just aliens.
Just aliens. But anyways, I had to fix it because I couldn't stand it any longer. It drove me out of my mind. And I just said, Self, get this fixed.
I think aliens have been to my house too and messed up my pantry.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
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 So that's where I keep this stuff. Now down here, I keep all my other stuff. My flour, my baking stuff like Bisquick, my brown sugar, my regular sugar, and I'm running out of flour here. So I bought another little one to put in there when that's done, and extra tea bags. So that's all I have of that. I don't have a lot of stock in that stuff because I don't use it. I mean, I hardly use that stuff at all. I'm not the baker that Cece is. And I do the best I can with what I have, but that's all I use. And do you want to go in that room too?
If you want to.
Okay.
She has an additional shelf in here. This is the good shelf. I'm going to sit down here.
Yes, you go ahead. This shelf, all these tomato soups that are on the bottom shelf were all on this shelf, on this shelf, on this shelf, and I couldn't stand it. It just drove me nuts. So I said, okay, the soups themselves are the heaviest thing I have. They need to all go on the bottom.
Right.
So all the light stuff should be up here. These are all my cake mixes and my brownie mixes. And I make a ton of brownies because my sister has 11 grandchildren. And they just love brownies. And so this is all the sugar. So it's cake mixes and cookies. And here's more cake mixes, you know, pound cake and stuff. So that's pretty much there. My husband eats these multi-grain Cheerios. I do not, but he does. So we went to the store. He went one day, I went the next. We both bought one. And we're like, uh-oh. I had no idea he was going to buy it because he said I'm out of cereal. So I bought it. Oh, he bought one too. So we got two of them. But then here's next is my other soups. It's my chicken broth, all my stocks, and all my soups that I make, you know, because I'm the soup eater. So if you like soups, these are a good way to make them. But if you don't, but I do. I love soups. And so this is just more stock. My sister gave me a whole bunch of ketchup, so now I have a lot of ketchup.
You sure do.
Yeah, and I normally have 1 or 2 on that shelf, but now I have more. And the same with some of this stuff here, this barbecue stuff. I have a lot of it, but she gave me some of that too. And we do a lot of applesauce. We really do. And so...
A lot of tuna, it looks like.
Yeah, it was on sale. And so my sister bought me some because it was on sale. So we have a lot of tuna and a lot of chicken. But it's the only meat I eat. So I do that. And there's all my crackers and then all my soups. Now my soups are pretty much all in category and by date. It's important to rotate your soups because they tend to get outdated fast if you don't rotate them. And I did. I went through all these soups down here and I had 1 can that I had to throw away. Just 1.
Wow.
So, and it's because I rotate. And that makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
My bin's on the top here. I know this is weird, but I have 1 of tea. Let me show you. These are all my teas. Green tea. This one is...
Oh, those are in K-cups.
K-cups, yeah. And this is English breakfast tea and some Earl Grey. But I do a lot of tea in the winter. Hot tea. And then here's all coffee. And my coffee is pretty much Maxwell House regular coffee, except for this one. It's my mixed kind, but there's not much of that left. All the rest is just Maxwell House. But I have to keep them somewhere.
And the thing that really surprises me is, like, next week I'll come out here and it'll still look the same.
Yeah, I don't change it. Once I put it the way I want it, it'll stay this way. Because then when you go to the store and you come back with something, it goes exactly where it belongs now. So
that's a good project to do.
Yeah, it is a good project, and it's not too time consuming.
Got an hour?
Got an hour, yeah. And you could do 1 shelf at a time. If you look at this shelving unit thinking, oh, I can't do that, just do 1 shelf. That's all you have to do. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. Because I didn't do both of them in the same day. No, different days, because you don't need to be doing all that work in 1 day. You just don't. I don't, anyways. So that's my method here of separating things. I used to keep all these drinks on the shelves, and then I thought, well, that's kind of silly. So we don't do that anymore. We just keep the drinks on the floor.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're heavy.
They are, and that's what started this whole process, was because of these drinks. And I don't hardly drink any of this stuff. You know, this is all Billy's stuff, and I'm okay with it being on the floor. It's not mine. So that's it. That's all I have to.
And for those of you in the city, a tractor with hay bales just drove past the window.
Oh, see, I didn't even notice it because I'm so used to it.
You live in the middle of the country.
Well, he just baled hay a few weeks ago, and they've been taking it back and forth to the barn. When they transport the bales of hay, they rent a flatbed and take up a whole lot.
Okay.
But once they are done that day with renting that flatbed, then they take it back. Then after that, they just take 2 bales at a time.
That's what it was, 2 bales.
Well, you put 1 on the front. They have these 2 stainless steel poles sticking out. You put 1 bale on the front, you put 1 on the back. And that's all he can carry. So that's why they move the majority of that hay when they can. Look at me. I'm the farmer's neighbor, and I'm telling you a story. But that's just the way it is. You live out here, you don't even think about the farmer.
No. And the farmer's actually your landlord.
Yeah, well, over there, yeah.
Well, Juju?
Yes.
let's wrap this up. I'll turn this off and we'll do a wrap up.
Okay.
We're going to end this the way we should have ended the one in the first place.
And we're sorry about that.
Yeah, well, that's life.
It is for us.
Yeah.
We've been really working at trying to get things done, and it's always a challenge for us.
Yeah, there's always something happening or something going on.
Yes.
Or, you know, health complications, especially for me.
So enough of our excuses.
Yep.
We do apologize for not getting things done the way we should.
Right, right.
But we love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We had quite a large number of people join the Facebook group page, you know, a couple weekends ago, and I was very pleased to see that.
Yeah.
And so I got on there and thanked everybody, and now it's time to put a new challenge out there. So within the next week, I'm going to figure out what I want to do and challenge you for something else, because I just did a project and I thought it's time to get everybody else on board.
Yeah.
So
don't ask me right now.
No, I would not. I understand. You've had a lot on your plate lately.
Yeah, I have. And I want to sit back and go, duh, for just a little.
So keep making your lists out there. Try it. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But if you start making a list of things that really needs done, all of a sudden, it's not so hard to do if you just get one thing done on that list.
And one thing I read up on is that if you have like, I have to do this, I have to do that, and say in your head, do you think you have like 10 things you want to do? If you actually sat down and wrote them down, you may have 20.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more on your mind than you think is. And if you're having trouble sleeping, get out a tablet and a pen and start writing down, what am I worried about? What do I need to do? What's on my list? And just write down section by section and clear your mind. And then your mind can rest because it knows it's written down somewhere. I can go to sleep now.
Right. And, you know, when you make your list, don't say, oh, these are jobs that I really need to get done. I write down every job I have.
Yeah.
So I write the word stock down, and I stock my plastic silverware, all my paper products, my K-cups. You know, I stock my drinks in my refrigerator. I don't do this every day. I do it once a week. So once a week, I just write down stock, and I put down what I know that needs stock. Snacks need stock this week, whatever. And then I put other things on there. You know, it's garbage night, collect the garbage today. Because sometimes I forget it's Monday and I need to get it done for Monday.
Yeah.
So it's simple little things that you say, oh, I don't need to write that down because I'll remember. And then when you forget, you think, oh, why didn't I write that down?
Why didn't I write it down?
Yeah. So even simple little jobs, write them down, especially if you are running 6 ways for Sunday and you don't have any idea what you're doing because you're running around so much.
Or even when you're going to get to something. If you get it off your mind and onto a piece of paper, then it's there and your mind's not going to
try and remember.
Yeah,
What was that I wanted to do today? What was that? And you look at your list and say, there it is.
And you'll feel less stressed.
I wanted to wash my carpets, you know, whatever it is.
And if you're less stressed, then you can deal with it.
Right.
And it isn't like, oh my God, what do I do?
Right. And she's absolutely right. It really is. It's a big help for me.
Like me, when I grow up, I want one of those little tablets like you have. One of those little wooden thingies with the clippy hickey on it.
Yeah.
Just like you have.
Yeah. It's a clipboard.
A clipboard. There you go. I say clippy hickey. I was close.
And I like my little one.
Yeah.
I don't like the big ones.
I don't either.
Because they're too cumbersome.
I have a big tablet and I have a big clipboard, but
nah,
it won't work for me.
I do little.
I would like to have the little, yep.
Yeah.
Well, on that note.
Yes. Keep coming to our Facebook group page.
Yeah.
Say hi, post some pictures. Let us know how you're faring with all your chores.
And that's on Facebook in the group section. And it's called Making My House a Home.
Yes, that's us.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate.
Yeah.
We're here for you. We're getting really, really excited about our podcast.
Yeah.
And we still have a store. So if you're interested in anything that we carry, give us a yell and we'll see what we can get done for you.
And you can get to that through our main webpage, makingmyhouseahome.com. And on that webpage, you'll see a link up in the corner. I think it has the 3 little lines. You click on it and it comes down and it tells you everything. That's where you can submit pictures too.
Yes.
Yeah. Puppy dogs, kitties.
Yeah, we like that.
Birds. No snakes, please. Cece will faint. Oh, there they go again.
There they go. Farmers in a Dow.
Yeah. All right, well.
Okay, well, guess what?
I'll plant you now.
And I'll dig you later.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.